Before 1959, there were only a few legal ways to see nudity on screen, the nudist camp films and the hygiene films being among the most popular. And then, because of a nudist camp film called Garden of Eden, there was an important court case that found that nudity per se was not obscene. What this meant was, as long as it was just nudity, that is, no sexual content at all, it was A-OK as far as obscenity laws were concerned. Russ Meyer exploited this ruling and made The Immoral Mr. Tease the first Nudie-Cutie and changed the world of exploitation cinema forever. It didn't pretend to be a documentary or educational. In fact, it wore its immorality on its sleeve. The whole point of the movie was that the guy liked looking at naked women. He liked being immoral. This was the sea change that separated classic exploitation from modern exploitation. We no longer had to pretend anymore. We could jump in this sea and get wet. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Kiss Me Quick from 1964, directed by Peter Perry, who was the director of Psycho Vixens, which I talked about a little while ago. 1964 was near the end of the Nudie-Cutie era, thanks to 1963's Scum of the Earth and 1964's Lorna, as well as the Olga films. Things were about to get a bit rougher in the nudie space. So let's see how the Nudie-Cuties went out. We open on a narrator giving us the opening titles, rather than the typical on-screen versions that we have to read. The actresses go by first names only. Their character names are pretty funny.
Donna plays Gigi String. Lucky is Lotta Cash. Pat as Gina Catch-a-Fanny.
And then, sci-fi sounds and a smoke machine. This robed guy tells Sterilox and us that the buttless galaxy has discovered that Earth has two sexes rather than one, as in the buttless galaxy. And this second sex on Earth is referred to as women.
This is the vital part. These women make ideal servants if you train them properly.
Oh yeah, they've clearly done their research. But one thing that confuses me is that the galaxy that lacks women is called the buttless galaxy. But men have butts. It should be called the assless galaxy because they definitely weren't getting that. Anyway, Sterilox, who looks a bit like Oliver Hardy but does Stan Laurel facial impressions, will be sent to Earth to study these women and bring back a perfect specimen. His guide in this regard will be Earth scientist Dr. Breedlove. This Dr. Breedlove, as the name suggests, is a parody of Dr. Strangelove, except here he has a Bela Lugosi accent.
Well, what? This boy is really sick.
And there's also a talking skull who does a Peter Lorre impression.
Gee whiz. Bring back the broads.
So what we've got here is a lot of references and caricatures and parodies all acting in parallel. This is typical of burlesque literary humor. And this film will also have lots of strippers and dancers, which is typical of burlesque theater in America. So don't let anyone tell you that America never added anything great to world culture. Anyway, Dr. Breedlove has invented a device that scientists from all over the world are trying to steal. The sex machine. No, not that one. The one in this movie causes, well, let's say a particular kind of excitement.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
The lady who uses it gets undressed, and it is a sight to see, but it's nothing you can see here on YouTube.
Now, there's work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. You can now support the channel on Patreon and get access to spicy versions of my reviews. Link is in the description. In addition to the machine, Dr. Breedlove has also made potions which cause the girls to dance and jiggle. This, of course, causes them to overheat and they need to get into the pool, so let's just get past all of this stuff.
No fair.
Apologies to those watching this on YouTube. This movie is about 67 minutes long and has about 3 minutes that you can see here. So, Sterilox would like to see a perfect specimen, and the first woman Dr. Breedlove shows him is Althea Currier. If she looks familiar, you might be remembering her from Russ Meyer's Lorna. She was the one at the beginning of the film that Hal Hooper slapped around. Starlox, it turns out, is asexual, so this doesn't impress him at all. Dr. Breelove doesn't know this yet, though, and shows him some more specimens. At a certain point, some movie monsters will show up: Dracula, a mummy, and a transsexual Frankenstein's monster.
What?
Yeah, they even have a little conversation about pronouns.
Don't call him a her. Her name is Frankenstein now. She turned into a man, and she gets very upset when people call him a her.
Another example of politics being pushed down my throat. Why does everything have to be woke? I just want to watch a movie and not be reminded that people with experiences different from my own exist. Anyway, will Starlox find the perfect specimen? Well, that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. Well, this is a Nudie-Cutie, so it is among the stupidest movies ever made, and it should be assessed compared to others of that genre. The point of a Nudie-Cutie is to show the audience attractive naked women and be funny about it. The humor is there because at the time we're talking about, the early 1960s, an erotic movie would be illegal. So how does this movie stack up? Well, extremely well. This movie is full of gorgeous naked people. We get stripping and dancing and playing in water and exercising, and it all looks incredible. This is the first film credit of renowned cinematographer Laszlo Kovacs. I've talked about him on the channel before. He shot A Smell of Honey, A Swallow of Brine, and went on to be an important figure in the American New Wave cinema movement of the 1970s. So, the nudity part of the Nudie-Cutie is quite good. How about the comedy part? Well, that turns out to be pretty good as well.
On Earth, steady locks. Women are treated much like candy. They put them into wrappers.
To keep them from getting dirty?
Something like that.
Sure, it's that bawdy, burlesque style of humor, but if you like that style of humor, you will appreciate this movie. Throw in some of the great music here, and you perhaps more than just appreciate it. And that's it, really. The movie set out to do two things: be sexy and be funny, and it did both of those things quite well. This is a contender for best Nudie-Cutie ever made. And very few Nudie-Cuties are even in that contention for that title, actually. House on Bear Mountain, The Immoral Mr. T's, it's probably one of those three. Most Nudie-Cuties are pretty terrible, but despite being one of the best, it's not perfect. Like a lab assistant using Dr. Breedlove's machine without permission, this film has some shortcomings. Well, my only complaint here really is that it's a bit repetitive. There are a few dance numbers and 3 or maybe even 4 stripping sequences, and in those sequences they all wear the same color and style, black and lacy. There could have been more variety, maybe red, maybe white. Maybe one of the bras could have been made of tissue paper that dissolved when somebody poured oil on it. That actually, go away, I need to order some stuff.